My name is Tiara Hodges. I'm number 15 on Caledonia Gladiators women's team. And my message to younger female athletes would be just don't be afraid to lift weights, be strong, and just be intimidating. Don't be afraid to work hard and just take on the grind and try to get as strong and as powerful as you can.
Hi, I'm Robin, I'm number 4. I've met some of the most inspirational women in my life through the sport of basketball. It is a sport for everyone, especially women and girls.
Hi everyone, my name is Bryn Maskwich. I'm number 3 on the Caledonia Gladiators, and for Women's in Sport Week, I really want to own in on girls being confident, bold, and wanting to walk into a room and own it. Because we are powerful, we're wonderful, and we're beautiful.
Hi, I'm Alex from the women's team, and I would encourage all girls to get into sport for the friendships you make and connections along the way.
Hi, my name is Kenny McGee. I'm number 27 for the women's team. My message for women and girls in Sports Week is don't be afraid to give it a go, be confident and get out of your comfort zone. Playing basketball has allowed me to have so many amazing opportunities, travel the world and meet loads of incredible people.
Hi, my name's Emma. I'm number 6 on the women's team, and basketball has taught me so many life skills. It's allowed me to balance my playing and my studying, but it's also lots and lots of fun. I've had some of my best memories with playing basketball, and I've made some of my best friends.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm number 9 from the women's team. I'm really lucky to be surrounded by so many amazing women every single day. Being on a team gives you that sense of community. It makes me feel supported and has helped build my confidence. And it's also super fun. Sport is for everyone, so please give it a go. I promise you, you'll enjoy it.
Good afternoon and welcome to play the Betty Cardona Trophy action. Both teams come into the game with a perfect 2-winning start to the season with big aspirations for the season ahead. This is set up to be a big game in deciding on how the season could play out. For the Gladiators, after 2 wins against Manchester and Nottingham, it's Tiara Hodges and Annie Warren leading the way. But for the visitors, Emma Gandini leads them in scoring, but don't forget about the experience of Georgia Gale. For the action as always, I'm joined by Rona Lightbody. Rona, we're set for a brilliant game.
We are indeed, and I have been looking forward to this, I think, as much as the players, except I won't have to sweat as I watch it. I probably will.
Oh, you're sitting there with your winter lilies on.
I think Hatters, Gladiators, they always both play physical, intense basketball, and I am here for it.
And as both teams, as you can see, will be going through their final preparations, but if we look at the rosters for the home side, we've got Bryn Masevich, Robin Lewis, Emma Kerr isn't suited up, Matilda Monge, Hannah Robb, Maura Fitzpatrick, Tiara Hodges, Ella Docherty, Amanda Okudua, Alexander McIntosh, and one of your prodigies,
Kiva Stupart, indeed, stepping up from the Blues, has been coming into pro practice, and I am delighted to see her out there. Obviously played 16s Eurobasket with Donnie McDonald, so well known to the coaching team, and nice to see Blues players coming through already.
Yes, great to see another young Scottish athlete getting an opportunity. For the visitors, it's Ella Wright, Grace Graham, Marina Fernandez, Georgia Gale, Nina Crisper, Shauna Harrison, Megan Mullins, Jen Stubbs, Emma Gandini and Antoinette Lewis. And as you said, Rona, these games are always kind of close affairs, and they're always come with a bit of fight.
I think that's the exact way to put it. I think Gale Robb is one nice matchup that I'm looking forward to. I'm also looking forward to seeing Megan Mullins in this game, thinking maybe Hodges might be going head to head there with that. And I just think across, Antoinette Lewis obviously coming in was an Eagle as well, Hodges was an Eagle. I think there's a lot of things across the court where I'll be looking forward to them, but you know, you've got Gandini over on the Hatters side, who we know is a phenomenal player. We saw what she did last year. Hatters obviously picking up the last trophy of the season. So much going on. So much to watch. And
as it was built into this from last season, obviously the Gladiators, they won silverware, but it was the Hatters that kind of rounded it off at the playoffs. They took the win over Hatters with that kind of, they are the Hatters, they took the win over Oaklands in that kind of second half comeback. So they're coming in, bringing back players like Crisper, Gandini, Georgia Gale. They're a winning club.
They are indeed, and you know, there's a reason it's called the Betty Cardona Trophy, and I think that always makes it that little bit more special for the Hatters players out there as well. But at the end of the day, it's on Gladiators' home court. How much will that play into their advantage? But I think this Hatters team, they don't care about that. They've got a bit of swagger about them. They're going to come and play their game, and they're going to make the Gladiators come to them.
And when we look at the Gladiators, obviously, you see someone like Tiara Hodges. She's been instrumental in the Eagles the last couple of seasons, coming up to Scotland, playing for the Gladiators. She's averaging 15.5 points, 9.5 rebounds, a couple of assists, all in 28 minutes. She's a player that can just be such a force.
I think you could have finished it. She's a player.
Yeah, she is just a player.
She is a player, and she is a force to be reckoned with. Come in, I talked about it last week. You know, she's captain. That shows what she's bringing in the locker room as well. That shows what she's bringing in practice, and I think that's showing you just what caliber player she is on and off that court.
So we're just over 2 minutes away from the tip. And I'm excited to see what happens. Both teams obviously undefeated so far. It's the trophy campaign. Teams are looking to get that one up on each other before the kind of regular season starts.
They are. You could say the trophy, you know, teams are still looking at rotations, they're looking at people settle, how do people go on the road. You know, there's a lot of different things loading. How is that working for them coming off the back of pre-season? But, you know, we're coming to the end of Scottish Women and Girls in Sport Week, and for me, this is an absolute perfect way to be ending it. If you're a basketball fan, if you're not a basketball fan, hopefully we've got some out in the stream or in the stands today that have just been inspired to come along and watch some female athletes at the top of their game. We've also got 2 female coaches down there, and I love watching Coach Ellis and Coach Handy when they go at it.
Yes, a proper back and forth via each other. You see them make the odd look towards each other as if like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But the battle on the court will be superb. It was also, they had a girls only camp before the game as well, as being Scottish Women and Girls in Sports Week as well, which is brilliant to see.
It is, and that's what this is all about, isn't it? Inspiring
Absolutely.
that next generation. That's something we know the Gladiators are doing, and they're looking to build that pathway from their under 12s right the way through with us Blues, under 23 playing in SBC. Players like Kerry McGee, unfortunately injured at the moment, Emma Kerr, Alex McIntosh playing within that Blues team. You know, Kiva Stupart, Alex McIntosh playing on Friday night against Falkirk Fury, and then out on the pro court today. That's what, if you can't be it, you can't see it, and there they are out there doing it. I know Sheffield as well got their academies going, players coming through. You can see they've got youngsters over there. That people like Ella Wright, who has scored a couple of points in this sort of trophy debut as well.
Absolutely. So we're almost there for the start of the game. Let's look at the starting lineups for the visitors first. Starting off, Georgia Gale, Shauna Harrison, Megan Mullins, Gandini and Lewis. For the home side, it's Bryn Masevich, Matilda Monge, Hannah Robb, Annie Warren and Tierra Hodges. Our referees this evening, crew chief Chris Curl, supported by umpires Nick Nassie and Matthew Godsell. The crowd slowly ticking in here as start school holidays. There's other things on, but no better place than being on a Sunday afternoon as watching the Gladiators at home. As entering the court, the Sheffield Hatters in there, fetching pink. You like it?
I'm here for it. I am a pink girl through and through.
And in their home blue are the Gladiators as well. You've got a couple of our men's team in appearance too after a big win for them, opening their season off with a win against the Surrey 89ers. And standing in the aisles is Kieran Achara as well, making sure he doesn't block people's views. But we are off, the ball is up, and it's, as we said, the Hatters in pink against the Gladiators in the blue. Georgia Gale all the way to the lane, she pulls up. Nice find, nice finish for Lewis. Good find by Georgia Gale, getting to the heart of the Gladiators' defence. And can the Gladiators get the ball in bounds? And they do. And it's Annie Warren with the ball, guarded closely by Shauna Harrison. Excited to see this matchup between Masevich and Lewis, and they both going at each other early. And great finish by the Canadian.
Don't know if people have caught that at home, but Chantel Handy was straight into making sure you're back in the defensive end, making sure we're pushing up there, the Gladiators.
Cut by Harrison, looking to find someone. The ball's loose. Who's it going to? Jump ball, and the arrow is pointing in the favour of the Gladiators. A quick early sub, 45 seconds into the game, as Lewis checks out for Nina Crisper. And Vanessa Ellis not happy with one of her starters there in Lewis.
I think she'll be checking back in pretty quickly after.
And she is. She's right back at the sub table there. Hodges guarded by Mullins. Spin move out to Monge. She's picks up the ball from after getting knocked loose by Chris. Well, great block by Mullins. and she's off and running. Well, she looks for help. She's got Harris into the basket, and the ball drops. Good find by the Hatters on the fast break. And it's Warren going right down the other way. Comes out to Monge. Masovic, and that's the offensive foul. Good defending by Crisper there. Created that contact, forcing Masovic into building that support out, building that space. And she checks back out.
She does. I think that sub was obviously called for before that was going to happen. And Coach Ellis, you know, she knows what she's doing down there with her rotations.
Chantal Handy chatting to Nick Massey there, asking for clarification. Everyone's happy, and we're off and running. A minute and a half in the game, and it's the Hatters with an early 4-2 advantage. Georgia Gale all the way to the heart, finds the help in Mullings, and they get that early. And you've seen Georgia Gale coming in as the creator early on. She's up to 2 assists. Demonge on her own, that's going to come up very short. And that's not the look they're looking for.
Sheffield really nice up tempo, and in that half court set getting loads of nice picks. Players coming off them tight
Quick
as well.
pass inside, doesn't go, but good creativity from the Hatters. Mullings with a lot of space there at the top of the key. Annie Warren, ball in hand. Masovic with Lewis, fakes it off into the hands of Demonge, cross court to Hodges. You see her a lot of time at the basket. Well, they look to feed her inside, they go out, late clock. Can Annie Warren get a shot off? It doesn't go, touches the rim, out of play. Good defensive set again from the Hatters.
Rotating really nice on that. Shauna Harrison really using her length to try and disrupt that shot of Warren. It's working well.
Quick pass up the court. Harrison running into her teammate. Harrison with Hodges on her. They would have battled several times last season. Into Gale. We've seen this matchup several times. Hannah Robb picks up the foul as Georgia Gale gets to the basket. And we know that's a big rivalry.
There is, and Gail, you know, doing excellent work with the GB over the summer and that 3x3.
Yeah.
So she'll be able to get in there and create inside that 3-point line.
Georgia Gale started the season not as good from the line, but then she goes, makes the first. 64% heading into this game. And she goes 2 from 2. An 8-2 start for the Hatters. And this Betty Cardona Cup North Stage game, but it's Hannah Robb, high arcing 3, doesn't go. Battle for the rebounds, and it's loose into the hands of the Gladiators. Gandini hits the floor, and she gets up. Masovic loses the dribble. Pass to Hannah Robb. They've got a mismatch inside. Will Hannah Robb try and find? But again, late clock. Can the Gladiators get a shot off? They do. And it's heaved up, doesn't touch anything. And that's another bad offense from the Gladiators, but you've got to compliment the Hatters defense.
Gandini really liked how she just got in there and made sure she put a body on Masovic, made it difficult. You could see the helpline just sagging in as well. Yep. That just made it difficult for the Gladiators to find an option, and Hatters rewarded for it.
Hatters off to a tremendous start. Mismatch inside, and Mullings gets it to go. Gladiators early on struggling to cope with the offensive power of the Hatters. 10-2 start. 6 minutes 20 on the game, on the quarter clock. Warren finds Hodges. She looks to get inside, fouled as she drives to the basket. Referees say on the floor. Foul called on number 31. That's Emma Gandini. Subs check in for the Hatters. A tremendous start for them as Fernandez checks in, Nina Crisper checks in, 2 players with vast amount of SLBW experience.
And again, keeping that length on Warren out there with Fernandez as Annie looks to go.
Warren pulls up from the 3-throw line, doesn't get it to go. Masovic under the basket. Great left-hand finish. And that's what the Gladiators have been looking for her.
We had it first play of the game, went inside, got the score, and it's just kind of come away from that. But I think that's due to the Sheffield pressure that they're putting on out there.
Another find inside. Look at the open player under the basket. Gets it to go. The Hatters offense ticking early. That's a number of open looks they've now found at the hoop. Demonge looks for space, drives in, doesn't go. Plays off the backboard, another one doesn't go for Demonge. She's 0-3 to start this game. Gandini to Mullins, doesn't grab the girl, almost turned over, it is. But it'll stay with the Hatters. And another former Gladiator. Erin McCacken also here tonight. Lots of current former players in the house.
Like you said, Grant, place to be.
Place to be. Only second to joining us on the stream. Switch on the play is Rob now. Gandhi, look at the cut by Nina Crisper.
Such a nice roll off the back of Masowicz there. She just read that she was playing her a little bit high, rolls off the back, nice easy bucket.
And that is tremendous execution again by the Hatters. That whatever they've been working on this week to break down the Gladiators, working early on. Can the Gladiators answer back? Maura Fitzpatrick finds Annie Warren. She skips by, mid-range pull-up. And that's another one, doesn't go. Battle for the rebound. Lewis backs down, goes to the hoop, looks to finish over trouble and gets the lefty layup to go over the Giants compared to her. But look at the pace. Hatters going fast. What a handoff! What a move! Shauna Harrison feeds Fernandez and it pushes the Hatters out. 14-6 lead and Chantel Handy straight to the table looking for a timeout. Rona, what a start by the Hatters.
It has been, and to me the difference at the moment in this game is effort.
Yep.
You're seeing the effort from the Hatters. They're getting up and down, they know their defensive matchups, they're working for each other there, they're working off them each other in the offensive end. That one there for me is a case in point with the Gladiators. You've scored great, put some digits up, but actually why are we not getting back on the defensive end? You can see 3-4 Gladiators players all looking at the other side of the court, so concerned with their own matchup they forget the ball's the most important thing out there.
And that's it, the points in the paint for Sharks. Sharks, I'm going to apologise in advance for saying that. For the Hatters, 14 of their 16 points at the basket. They're doing a great job of finding the player under the basket. The cutters getting the ball in early. You see the speed there from Shauna Harrison getting up the floor. It's a clear, distinct game plan they've got for this game.
And interestingly, when it's the commentator's curse, I was looking at, is this going to be a game of the outside versus the inside, thinking that the outside play of the Hatters was going to be, the killer point for them. They shoot so well from three-point land. They lead at the moment. I mean, we're 2 games in, so it's hard. I feel like it's a big statement to say that. Gladiators have a lead from 2-point land at the minute, though. Sheffield are ripping up that book, and they're showing just what a multifaceted team they are.
Don't think I can say that word, so what a sentence that is. But can the Gladiators get the ball in bounds? Fitzpatrick finds Warren. Oh, picks up the ball, but referees play on, and Hannah Robb for 3. Gladiators not finding any range from long distance. Stubbs just checking into the floor. Pressured by Robin Lewis, but Hatters into their offense now. Crisper hands off to Gandini round the screen that she's. The latest, the clock's been against the Hatters. But Fernandez steps out of bound, and I suppose at the timeout that's exactly what Chantel Handy will look for defensively.
You're always looking for a response from your team coming out of a timeout, especially when it's been your coach that's called it. So I think Handy will have been pleased that they've not allowed Hatters a shot at the hoop there.
Ogadua gets the ball inside, she backs down. Crisper, look, can she go up strong? Doesn't get it to go. Good defense from Crisper. Stubbs under pressure from Robin Lewis. Gandini drives to baseline. What a finish. Warren with her hands on the ball, but goes in. The Hatters lead by 12. Ogadua drives, spins into the middle of the court, gets that one to go as Stubbs hits the floor, and that gets the Gladiators score going again.
Gladiators players off the bench have been relatively quiet and passive.
Steal from Fitzpatrick, sorry Rona. Feeds Ogadua, she's got Gandini up against her, spins in. Referee says no, offensive foul as Gandini falls to the floor.
And that's always one as a player. That, you know, we saw Gandini get Warren get her hands on the ball. We know Gandini's got that strength. Ogadua, I do think maybe just leaning into it a little bit much there, but at the same time, Gandini's going to sell that and make sure it's seen by the refs.
Tremendous job. I suppose that's what a good defender does.
Earned herself a rest for it as well.
Absolutely, she had a tremendous start to this game. Hatters across the half-court line. Leading by 10, 2.5 to go in the first quarter. Fernandez drives into the heart of the Gladiators defence. Finds Lewis, and she lays it up, nice finish.
And I just feel at the moment Hatters doing such nice work finding each other as well. There always just seems to be a player free.
Yep. Just finding the middle of the Gladiators defence with ease. Can Warren get going all the way to the basket? Tough finish, and she makes it. We've not really seen Annie Warren explode in this game yet, but look at this. Lewis out in the full court, American football pass. And Ogadua taking one for the team there as the Gladiators defence slow to get back.
And also Hatters just making sure they get that ball in and go.
Yep.
They always say you're at your most vulnerable after a score.
And that's been a common question mark on the Gladiators the last couple of seasons. You see teams playing quicker against them, and you can see Hatters just again replicating that again. Man, Ogadua is coming off the court. Gladiators going with a small lineup. Lewis at the free throw line. Goes 2 from 2. Alex McIntosh checks in for Annie Warren. Her first action of the game. Georgia Gale checks back in for Shauna Harrison. And a foul called, I think, on
It was on Graham.
Grace Graham. Before the inbound is in, stay a Gladiators ball. This time we'll go to the sideline though. And DeMongji with the ball. Still a small line out for the Gladiators. DeMongji round the screen, looking for help, but look at that. The hands of Stubbs. She's racing to the basket, under pressure from Fitzpatrick. Gladiators keep them out on this occasion, but good defence again from the Hatters. They've had a tremendous first quarter. 100 seconds on the clock. DeMongji fakes to go. Ball, great defence again, knocks the ball out, and it'll be their baseline ball.
Nothing coming easy at the Gladiators' offensive end. You know, Hatters making them work for it.
The Hatters just so active on defence, Rona. They're just hands everywhere as Gladiators either try and get to the basket or Hodges with the mid-range jumper, and she gets that to go. Important score. See the experience of Georgia Gale with the youthfulness of Alex McIntosh. She gets to the basket. She does that so well, does Georgia Gale. Doesn't matter who's against her. That's a big learning opportunity for Alex McIntosh going against a vastly experienced Georgia Gale. Mullins charging back in for the rebound. That just shows you that the difference in effort so far. Demonge trying to get the offense moving. Fitzpatrick gets space in the baseline. Nice finish. But look at the help defense from Georgia Gale. But it looks like, I think she's hitting the back of the head from, Antoinette Lewis, who was, Georgia Gale was doing a good job in the help. Antoinette Lewis didn't need to lean in or take the contact. She was going to check out.
I think smart play there by Fitzpatrick.
Yep.
You know, we know she can knock down that three, but she saw that the player was closing out on her. Little head fake comes under, and it makes that next line of defense count. It was there, but usually if a player's chasing you like that, the temptation of having just been beaten, you want to make the stop, and she's caused the foul.
Fitzpatrick only through 2 games, 50% from the line. Can she knock down the second? She does. She continues that 50%. McIntosh with Crisper. Mullins with Hodges on her. And Georgia Gale again. Ball in hand, late clock. She drives left to the middle of the defence. Blocked by Fitzpatrick. She's making a big impact off the bench. Robin Lewis looking for help now. Can they find Hodges inside? Out to Fitzpatrick. Great hands by Georgia Gale. Hodges from behind for 3. Doesn't go too heavy a shot. But look at that. Stubbs right out in the full court. Wanted to. Graham head down, looking for help.
Sheffield going to look to hold this, get that last shot of the quarter.
Deserved relief by double figures. Fitzpatrick with Georgia Gale dribbling, looking at the clock. Switch on defense. Late clock doesn't go. Clock expires. Advantage Hatters as they lead 24-13 in Rona. A one-sided quarter so far. But we're going to check into some quarter videos. You'll hear that now. 28-15, the Hatters lead on the road. A floated missed pass, and it's now a 3-on-1 break. Demonge up there, offensive foul called. Demonge gets her body up, puts her body on the line after the turnover, and it's Georgia Gale called for the foul.
And whether you're in agreement if that's a foul or not, Gail did have options there. She had two teammates with her. It's maybe just a decision-making thing, but in the moment, you think, okay, I'm going to go route one, take the ball, but it's been unfortunate to come away with the charge. But we can see timeout's been called clearly, still not happy.
And that's that. The second timeout called by Chantel Handy. The Hatters still leading by 28 to 15 points.
I think what we're seeing a lot of time from Gladiators, they're having to do these skip passes or these bailout passes to the other side of the court, and when you're going across the other side of the court, you're breaking down, 2-3 layers of defence in between that, and that's why they are getting touches on the ball, and that's why they're getting the turnovers and getting other ends Sheffield. Even if they're not getting the score, mentally at the Gladiators end, you're like, okay, I've just been turned over. That does make you a little bit more nervy.
And it did feel like that last play there, the Gladiators were slower to get back. There was a 3-on-1 break, jogging back. Demonge was only really one in front of the ball, or between basket and ball even. And that was maybe a fortunate call for them in terms of Demonge putting her body on the line. I suppose Chantel Handy, we were looking for that effort.
Crisper as well, though, I've been impressed with her. When she puts the back burners on, she is running low block to low block at the moment, and nobody's taking her some of the time.
Players coming back onto the court, 7:45 on the clock. As we said, 28 points. The Hatters lead by 13. Confident looking Hatters side. Looking to build off playoff triumph last season. When we look at some of the results yesterday, Rona, Essex sneaking, or not even sneaking a win, deserving and dominating an Oakland side. Can the Gladiators get the ball inbounds? They've struggled from here again previous seasons, but they get it into Annie Warren. She pulls up from the free throw line, gets it to go.
And that's the way you'll stop Hatters sometimes being able to push you back down the court another end, is by getting the score and making them take it out on that baseline.
And this is what I love about the addition of Fernandez for the Hatters. She's a third, maybe even fourth, well, be a third option right now in the court. Ball handler coming up the court. They've got so many options. Georgia Gale trying to get something going at the basket, doesn't go. Last touch Hatters, and it belongs to the Gladiators. You can see the Handy's reaction. She's trying to just get that effort into her team. But Hatters just have lots of options. It's ball handling coming off the, and then what we got, Vanessa Ellis wanting it to go the other way. The Gladiators struggling to get the ball in bounds.
And Gandini is always so active on defence like that. You've got to just always been going at her full pelt. As you saw there, almost got herself the turnover in that backcourt with the steal.
Refs in discussion over something. But Gandini last season came more of her ball handling and her defensive effort, but you just have to look what she's doing scoring this season. And Gandini, 19.5 points, 4 rebounds, 3.5 assists, as if she's added that level to her game.
She sure has, and I mean, she shot the lights out against Eagles, 29 points, 7 of 8 from three-point land. She can do it all out there, and I remember we had her on the podcast last season, and just a nice person and just a hard worker. And I think that's nice to see that when you're putting in the hard work like that, she's been rewarded on the court.
Yep.
And you can see why they've looked to keep her at Hatters.
30-year-old Australian just making a real impact, and in this SLBW floater from Demonge off the backboard, overcooks it. Gladiators double team, but foul called. And foul is called on Hannah Robb.
I think both coaches at the moment have been unhappy with some of the refereeing decisions on the court. That one coming off a no board.
Yeah.
And Hatters come away with it, and the foul on Robb.
Georgia Gale, ever trusted with that ball in hand, finds her teammate in Gandini. Crisper puts the ball on the floor, drives against Masovic, throws it up off the backboard. It's Tiara Hodges battling for the rebound against Mullings.
You can see Gandini looking to sneak in there and get that steal, but Hodges with the awareness.
Hodges still with the ball in hand. Gladiators not really moving the ball. Late clock again. Rob round the screen. Needs to put the shot up late. Can she throw it up there? She does. Hits the ring, but no one going for that rebound. And that's maybe the opposite again of the teams. You've always got someone from the Hatters going for those boards. Gandini with Warren, and that's going to be a turnover. And it'll be a Gladiators ball on the baseline. Timeout called by the Hatters. It's 28-17. I mean, for the Gladiators, Rona, they'll be happy that there's no points been added from the Hatters since that timeout.
They will, but both teams have come out. Shots maybe aren't quite falling the same. It's been a little bit more stop-start, and I think that's reflected in the score. You know, it's 4 apiece currently in this quarter. Both of these teams take first and second in the trophy setting at the moment. You know, Gladiators 87.5 points a game. Hatters coming up just 90th. Yeah, I think seeing half's a bit daft, isn't it? You don't get a half point in basketball, but you know, averages and everything. And Hatters, they're more in their stride there with this sort of scoring and the firepower that they do have.
Still Antoinette Lewis leading all scoring on 6. Megan Mullings is also on 6. And a lot of 8 points for the Hatters coming off the bench compared to the Gladiators 5. Both teams still to score 3. Something I'm staggered to see. We're not even seeing that many attempts. The Gladiators making 6 attempts. Hatters only attempting 1.
Thing is, though, for Hatters, they're having so
much success.
options.
Yeah.
Either throwing that ball straight away inside or on those cuts coming through, and they're finding open layups. So why would you?
Why change a good plan? Absolutely.
Go to the 3.
Team's about to come out in the court again. 5:53 on the clock for the half.
It'll be interesting to see what Coach Handy's drawn up in this timeout, coming off this baseline out of bounds.
It's all about momentum heading towards half-time. Can the Gladiators bounce back, or will it continue to be the Hatters dominating play in both ends of the floor? Screen set from DeMongji, drives against Harrison, and it goes. Tough finish.
But where was Mullins? She was already horsing it down the other end, which is great. Hodges having to score and then track back and cover.
Harrison severely pressured by DeMongji on the dribble. Gale with a little bit of space. But gets to the basket. What a finish by Georgia Gale.
And I think that's when she can be her best, when she's going downhill and looking to get herself to the hoop.
Gladiators quickly into their offense. DeMongji dancing baseline, throws it over her head. Hodges finds Warren. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Crosses over Harrison. Sling pass, extra pass. Hannah Robb to the centre. That's going to go up. Doesn't go hit anything again. And look at that. NFL pass to Gandini on the full court. And somehow Annie Warren with the ball. 3-on-2 break. Blocking foul. And are they going to count it?
Looks like it's going to
Saying
be
on the floor, it looks like the refs are going to come together here. And Chris Curl accepts it's on the floor.
And some real nice end-to-end basketball there. That bullet pass down the middle. It was unfortunate Hatters didn't get the score. They looked like they had numbers on those O boards as well,
Yeah.
and I was about to pick up on that. But Warren with the really nice fast
She
hands.
just kind of ripped it, didn't she?
They've been more used to seeing it, the Hatters doing that to them. Gladiators are going to get, fouls come up, but they've not given away any easy buckets there.
It looks like the referees have counted the basket now. Will the scorekeepers give that up to date? It looks a bit of confusion. Looks like one referee is saying it's basket good. Chris Curl definitely signalled as if that was... Am I seeing things, Rona?
Potentially.
That could happen. Anyway, we're underway. Because if she was fouled, it was going to the 3-throw line. But it doesn't matter. We're off and running. Everyone seems happy except my confusion. But Annie Warren with the ball in hand. Round the screen, pulls up, 3-throw line. Gets it to go. Warren slowly getting going here, up to 6 points.
But look again at the other end of the floor, Lewis getting down there, but this time Maswich making sure she's covered it, but Hatters aren't here to mess around.
Mullins driving in against Hodges, looking for help. Finds Georgia Gale. Screen comes, she rejects it, it's there on the other side. Double teamed, find Mullins, for 3. And that's the first 3 of the game.
And you could see the Gladiators, the players, they both jumped out on that, and that's fine, but you've got to be harder, make sure the gap's not there. Because then Mullins left a pretty easy job of knocking down that 3.
Forced pass by Warren, but look at that. Gandini out in the full court, and what a pass. Gladiators momentarily had the lead down to 9, but it's the Hatters looking to extend it past the 12 it's on now after that 3. And it goes again, Emma Gandini. Back-to-back 3s. And that's the lead up to 15 again. What a find by Hatters. Gandini been averaging 64% from 3 in this trophy competition and blocked out a play by Lewis on Warren. And the Gladiators look a little bit out of ideas.
And sometimes when things aren't quite going your way, you just need to take a deep breath and you need to be like, okay, I can hit my screen a little bit more solid, a little bit earlier. I can hold it a little bit longer. When I'm coming off it, I can cut a little bit faster. I can have a quicker change of pace.
We're going to do it under the basket. Foul called, caught in the arm by Lewis. That'll be her second. Good impact off the bench by Okadua.
It's not, to go back to my earlier point, it's not always you have to change lots of things the coach has to implement. You just need to be better at what it is you're supposed to be doing out there. And they'll all know, okay, where can I take best responsibility? I'm a body and a player before I'm going for the rebound. And that's what the Gladiators need to do. Sheffield at the moment, they're rolling, they're feeling it. They just need to keep moving the ball because that's when they're most dangerous.
And it's one of these things like if Vanessa Ellis wants to use her other time out in this half, it's all about just positive reinforcement because everything seems to be going their way inside and out, especially after the back-to-back 3s we've just seen.
They're like, cool, you're going to clog up the key, fine. We'll start knocking down the 3 ball.
And when you have, as you said, Gandini hitting 64+% from 3. Fitzpatrick, she's been a great impact off the bench. With Harrison on her, she's got the ball in hand. Can she find help? She does, but is it a turnover? Gandini keeps it alive. Mullings, late clock. Do they realise that the clock's going to tick? No, they don't. Good 24-second defence from the Gladiators. Came from the pressure on the ball handling. And from Harrison to Gandini to Mullings, they weren't able to get a shot off.
But at the same time, if you're going to be an optimist about it, you're like, okay, we've just made the Gladiators play 24 seconds of defence. Takes a little bit out of the legs, especially going last couple of minutes of this second quarter.
3 minutes, just under 3 minutes on the clock, 23 points to 36. The scoring rate from the Hatters has maybe been slowed down. Good active hands from Mullings. Warren, Demonge. Can you find Okudua inside, uses the screen, rejects it. Demonge drives towards the baseline. Corner 3 from Fitzpatrick, doesn't go. Okudua battling for the rebound. And it's saying it's come off Lewis.
I thought she was, Okadoa, I was like, it's a bit of a 50-50 ball. She needs to be careful how she's coming round on that rebound, but has managed to obviously get her arm round, hit it off Lewis, and keep it as a Gladiators ball with another 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Okudua to Robin Lewis, screen comes. Open 3 for Robin Lewis, doesn't go. Who's there for the rebound? It's not back from Warren, but into the hands of a Hatters player. And look at the passing range, but Annie Warren with the hops to gather the ball. And Harrison deflects the ball out via a wee collision with Demonge's nose. Made of stern stuff is the French girl.
I think that's one of those, like, she's making a play for the ball, she's going for it. And sometimes you come up against those things in a game that you're like, I probably shouldn't have put my head in there.
Absolutely. Warren, Gandini in the passing lanes again. They're so good at doing that, the Hatters. Okudua with Gandini on her back. Layup blows the layup. But the Gladiators gather it. Gandini on the floor. Do they realise the open shot? No, late clock. A bit of confusion in the Gladiators offense. The ball is very stagnant. Great space. Tough look. Who's battling for the rebound? The two smallest players. Demongji gathers it. And the Gladiators offense is very stagnant. And it's Warren again, almost a bailout kind of mid-range shot.
It does seem very reliant on the moment on Warren creating that space for herself. And I think, like we were talking about, it's about, are you hitting your mark? Are you hitting your player? Are you getting yourself open to your teammate? Are you showing an option? I could see Coach Handy at one point communicating with Domenge. She should have been in a slightly different position to help spread the floor out there. Hatters, though, you know, they've maybe dried up a little bit of scoring in this quarter as well, but they're still sitting on an 11-point lead with things maybe not quite going their same way. But you can see they're sticking to their principles. They're still getting out and running their lanes. They're still looking for that really fast first early pass down the floor as well. And when they move the ball, it's like poetry in motion, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. The Gladiators trailing by 11. The Hatters scoring some big threes to get this quarter underway with Gandini. Just making a tremendous impact all over the floor, but it's Megan Mullings on 9, leading scorer for the visitors. It's Annie Warren up to 8, all from the mid-range. The Gladiators will be looking to get some sort of offensive flow going, but it's the Hatters dominating both ends of the floor.
They are. We knew it was going to be a fast, intense game, and at the moment, Sheffield are bringing more of that to the table than I'd say the Gladiators are.
Teams on the floor again. Very interesting 90 seconds of this half remaining. Who takes momentum into the half time? It's all been with Hatters so far. Can the Gladiators get any sort of momentum going? Stubbs, ball in hands. Pressurised by Robin Lewis. Finds Fernandez, bit of space. Crisper under the basket. Off the switch. The mismatch. They find Nina Crisper? They do, but look at the help from Maura Fitzpatrick. Ogadua, can she pick up the ball? She does. Gladiators have it. Good stop for them. Screen comes. Warren gets the mismatch. They find Okadua. Can she finish at the basket? And that's great play from the Gladiators. Bit of momentum. The bench certainly enjoyed that.
And that came from Fitzpatrick being active at that defensive end. Something she's been really good at in past games too. But there's that ball
Fernandez, open three. Battle for the rebound is Warren. Hatters with a really good look there. Oh. Stubbs stands on a foot. Massive cross-court pass. What a fetch by Fitzpatrick. Okadua looking for help. Forces that pass to Crisper. Should have just continued going up to the basket. And look at the transition speed of the offense now for Fernandez to Nina Crisper. Wow!
And I told you, she is getting out and she is running the floor, and there she was rewarded for that.
Hatters into fifth gear, the Gladiators in first. There's no competition for who's the open player. Fitzpatrick now, open look, can she beat the buzzer? She does, a 3 drops for the Gladiators. And there's the halftime buzzer. The Gladiators end with a 3 and they cut down that lead. 38-30, the Hatters dominant through most of the proceedings so far. But it's the Gladiators edging that quarter by 3, 17-14. And they'll be looking to cling on to that optimism as we head towards or into the halftime period. We'll be joining Rona courtside very shortly, but we look at the game stats. It's Megan Mullings still leading all scoring on 9. She's leading the Hatters on rebounds with 4. The turnovers though for the Hatters up to 10. And points in the paint, 26 for the Hatters. We'll be looking for one of the coaches very shortly. As we see the assists as well as something that the Gladiators haven't been known for this season, sharing that ball, whereas the Hatters up to 14 assists. Both teams we've only had 13 attempts from three. The Hatters only shooting 4, they're 50%. The Gladiators though, only 11% from three. And that'll maybe be something that the coaches will look to half time. We've got Chuck a Duck about to happen here. Always an exciting part at Play Sport. Reminder, this is Betty Cardona trophy action. And we are almost ready to go. We'll join now Rona courtside with assistant coach of the Caledonia Gladiators.
Max, down 8 at the half. What is going to be the key messages for this second half out there?
Yeah, got to claw back. We let them get way too easy stuff in the first quarter. Defense was better there in the second, so continue that defense in your 10 more quarters.
Only 6 assists in that half, which for Gladiators isn't very usual. You know, and 2 of those came within the last minute. Is that sort of shown how stagnant it's been at times on the offensive end?
Yeah, we're getting late in the shot clock a lot. I think they've taken their defense has been good, taking us out of action, so just finding a way to stretch them some, move the ball. We'll get going here.
Fair. Well, thank you very much for your time. I'll let you get to the locker room.
Perfect, thank you.
And that will wrap us up for the first half.
My name is Tiara Hodges. I'm number 15 on Caledonia Gladiators women's team. And my message to younger female athletes would be just don't be afraid to lift weights, be strong, and just be intimidating. Don't be afraid to work hard and just take on the grind and try to get as strong and as powerful as you can.
Hi, I'm Robin, I'm number 4. I've met some of the most inspirational women in my life through the sport of basketball. It is a sport for everyone, especially women and girls.
Hi everyone, my name is Bryn Maskwich. I'm number 3 on the Caledonia Gladiators, and for Women's in Sport Week, I really want to own in on girls being confident, bold, and wanting to walk into a room and own it. Because we are powerful, we're wonderful, and we're beautiful.
Hi, I'm Alex from the women's team, and I would encourage all girls to get into sport for the friendships you make and connections along the way.
Hi, my name is Kenny McGee. I'm number 27 for the women's team. My message for women and girls in Sports Week is don't be afraid to give it a go, be confident and get out of your comfort zone. Playing basketball has allowed me to have so many amazing opportunities, travel the world and meet loads of incredible people.
Hi, my name's Emma. I'm number 6 on the women's team, and basketball has taught me so many life skills. It's allowed me to balance my playing and my studying, but it's also lots and lots of fun. I've had some of my best memories with playing basketball, and I've made some of my best friends.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm number 9 from the women's team. I'm really lucky to be surrounded by so many amazing women every single day. Being on a team gives you that sense of community. It makes me feel supported and has helped build my confidence. And it's also super fun. Sport is for everyone, so please give it a go. I promise you, you'll enjoy it.
And we are back for second half action here at Play Sport. The Hatters leading 38-30. And Rona, an 8-point lead from the Hatters, but the Gladiators probably fortunate to be this close.
I think Gladiators started to find their rhythm just towards literally that last minute or two of that second quarter, and at least there's some sort of response there for the coaching team to talk about and go in there and work with. Coach Ellis maybe it was like they've dipped just towards the end of that second quarter, but I expect to see big things. Interestingly, when I was looking at how both teams played last time they were out on the floor, third quarters were quite important for both. So for Gladiators last week against the Wildcats, their third quarter was quite a decisive one for them. Whereas Hatters, they actually went down in the third quarter in terms of within the third quarter itself, in points to the Manchester. So it was a 27-15 to Manchester in that third quarter, whereas with the Gladiators, the Wildcats, it was a 21-7 in the way of the Gladiators. So I think it'll be interesting to see how both teams come out in this third quarter. Hatters will be looking to improve themselves in their third quarter performances. Gladiators will be looking to keep that sort of momentum in the third quarter.
Are you surprised when you look at the game stats? 14 assists for the Hatters, only 6 for the Gladiators. Is that showing you how the game's kind of flowed a little bit more? For the Hatters, it's been a bit more, not easier, but a bit more forthcoming, where the Gladiators have to really work one-on-one. We've seen a number of Annie Warren pull up jump shots, for example.
Yeah, and that was something obviously I was asking assistant coach Max Hurst. I was saying, only 6 assists for the Gladiators, 2 of which come in that last minute. Is that showing sort of how the offense maybe isn't moving as much? But like he was saying, Hatters are doing a really good job of stifling them on the offensive end. They're just going to have to look for responses. They're going to have to use, we talk about it a lot, their basketball IQ. So if this isn't working, what can I do? If they're over playmaking, a dive back door. If they're playing up high on someone, can I come across and set a pick to maybe free them up a little bit, cut a little bit harder, like I was saying, set the pick a little bit harder. So I think we're in for an entertaining third quarter, and I think third quarters can tend to tell you the story of a game.
And both teams on the floor. Gandini, Harrison, Mullings, Lewis and Gale for the visitors, as Masovic, Robb, Hodges, Demonge and Warren for the home side. Cross-court pass. Robb, open 3, but what a chase down block from Lewis. And it'll be a Gladiators ball. The Hatters bench looking for a push as Harrison falls out of bounds. But I just said Robb had an open 3 and there Lewis was flying out on her.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Hatters are committing on every defensive rotation, and they're making sure they get to their points, and they're making sure that they make it as challenging as possible for the Gladiators. But better movement there from the Gladiators, and then chasing down that old board.
Gladiators inbound ball, but look at that. Mullings catches it and off she goes into the races. And she finishes with ease at the basket. Great steal from the Hatters.
And we've seen her be active in the lanes there, and I thought it was a bit of a strange option there from Warren, the way she played it from our angle. It looked like that was only going to end up in the Hatters' hands there.
Hatters continue that same energy on defense. Demonge crosses over Gandini. She gets the mid-range to go. Gladiators having to rely on that solo mid-range game to keep the scoreboard operating. Ball being thrown around and thrown out of bounds, this time by Mullings. That's one of the few times we've seen a miscommunication by the Hatters. Demonge round the screen from Masovic. So Key opens up. She's looking for someone in the corner. Wasn't there, but Robb at the elbow. 3 doesn't go. Gathers a rebound to the basket, up and under. Overcooks it. Maybe the presence of Georgia Gale. Sling hook pass. Harrison fakes the 3. Difficult pass to Mullings, but she gathers it. Hatters into their offense. Gale drives into the centre of the Gladiators. Round she goes if Hannah Robb doesn't go, but who's battling for the rebound? And it's the Hatters getting in front, and it's Lewis putting it back in the basket.
I really liked her positioning there for that offensive board.
Demonge all the way to the hoop. No basket. Travel called. Sorry, Rona. But yeah, Lewis getting a good position against Masovic. That'll be something that the Gladiators coaches will not be liking early on in this third quarter. Lewis up to 8 points. Crossover. Gale trying to get to the basket. She's fouled. As Gale drives in against Hannah Robb. And she'll go to the three-point line for two again. And that's Hannah Robb up to 3 fouls. She has been flawless from the line so far in this game tonight.
Sheffield themselves have been flawless from the line, haven't they?
And she continues that again. A good start to this third quarter for the Hatters. Robb's on the floor, Masovic. You need to get the ball across half court. It's not really probably what the Gladiators want is their centre dribbling the ball. The moment you're looking for some sort of space, she dances to the basket and doesn't get that to go, but it's Masovic with the rebound. That doesn't go either. Ball's knocked somewhere. Oh, someone's taken a hit. Demonge went flying there. She took something in the face.
I think that just going against Gandini, I think what the referee will be saying there is maybe just coming a little bit hard on that offensive over, I guess, when you're crashing in. But I think the telling thing for me is Gladiators need to just put the ball in the hoop. I think once the first one goes in, that should settle their nerves. That's a few easy open looks they've had that they've not converted.
Foul on Shauna Harrison, holding on Warren. The continuation of the same thing from both players. 5 seconds, Gladiators don't get the ball in bounds. And that's an easy turnover for the Hatters.
All the players just looking like they're taking a breather out there from both sets.
Yes, that's an intense game. Refs letting a lot go though, which I like to see. Good defense from Tierra Hodges, getting a hand in the way of Lewis. Some ball somehow gets to Mathilde Demonge. Round the screen, cross court. Hannah Robb, corner, fakes it. Steps in for the mid-range. That doesn't go either. Demonge takes another hit, but it's Hodges tidying up. Scores coming hard for the Gladiators, but they keep the scoreboard ticking.
Could see Rob just didn't quite have her feet set right.
Dancing round this. The defensive player was Georgia Gale. She hands it off to Mullings.
And that's where they've had so much success, isn't it? In that little pocket on the inside, the little dish. And they're finding a Sheffield player wide open.
Warren, mid-range again. That's the only way we're seeing any kind of offense so far is that mid-range game from the Gladiators.
Interestingly, there, Mullins and Lewis making sure they both put their body on Hodges because we know what a demon she can be on the boards.
Gale again dancing to the basket, looking for the and one. Gets the 2 to go, and that's a timeout for the Gladiators. And it's the Hatters dancing their way inside and extending this lead back up to 14, 48 to 34. And Rona, Gladiators really needing to tidy things up.
They do, but I think credit to Hatters. They are looking like a well-oiled, well-drilled team. They know where to find each other. Sometimes the passes, especially in those sort of cross-court, haven't connected, but they're putting the passes in, and because of the position they're in, they can afford a couple of them to go out of court. But the thing is, they're getting those inside looks again. So we saw when they maybe weren't getting them, they were out there nailing the threes. Now they are getting them again, they can go back inside. And Gladiators just looking like they're opening up too much and giving them the lane to get to the hoop. Make it difficult for them, make it challenging. Where's that next line of defence coming across? It's important to take care of your own player, but you've also got to think, okay, how am I backing up my teammates? Where is it I should be fitting in this defensive rotation? Georgia
Gale up to 10 points, 6 assists. Hodges leading scoring for the Gladiators on 8, but it's Mullings leading for the game on 13. The Hatters very much in control here.
And both teams have 7 players on the score sheet, but for me, Grant, I don't know about you, it just feels like Hatters are scoring more freely out there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Everyone is that offensive
The
threat.
ball's moving so well from Hatters that they're generally, it feels like every player's touching the ball in each kind of set, whereas the Gladiators, it feels it's a bit stagnant, gets a bit stuck. It's players like Annie Warren and Tierra Hodges having to either create for themselves. And I suppose someone like Demonge on the floor, she's not having a great night. No assists for her. Ball's kind of getting stuck with her as well today.
She has done a good job bringing it up under pressure. We've talked about Gandini. And what a good
Almost a forced turnover from Gandini there on Demonge. And another missed layup from Demonge. Ball battled up. It's going to be a jump ball. Ball's tied up.
and
Fernandez reacting to Nick Nassi, and that's their last warning for the team.
And Demonge will get them to fall as the game goes on. It's a really nice hesitation dribble. She is finding herself the space. She's just got to keep making sure she takes those options, because if she doesn't, she's not going to make the defense move the same.
Absolutely. Shot clock was down to 18. Bit of disagreement between table and referee there. Let's see what's happening here. And we're off and going, 22 seconds put on the clock. Oh, look at the baseline cut from Crisper. What a find, Fernandez. And Crisper linking up once again. Fernandez up to 3 assists. Almost bounces off a foot, but play on, says the referee. Hodges with the chuck up, and she's fouled. Number 22, Mullings called. That's her first of the game. 16-point lead, 50-34. And that's another one where the Gladiators just having to chuck up a shot.
They are, and I think sometimes that can be frustration.
Yep.
But also, you know, you can also look at it as this Hodges trying to take some responsibility and be like, okay, I'm going to attack this. We did have a really nice Fitzpatrick off, which is a little bit too low for her off a Demonge pass. And that's maybe the thing we just need to tidy up at that Gladiators end to make sure they're getting the look, because that's exactly what the Hatters are doing in response at the other end. But they're getting the easy too.
The Hatters, when we look at the extra pass and the ball movement, the way the ball's been shared by the Hatters, what are they up to? 16 assists for the game. Gladiators only on 6. And that's a big difference in how this game's going. Hodges knocks down that second free throw.
Hatters are a team though this season who look like they're going to be moving the ball well. They're averaging.
Oh, what a find under the basket. There you go again. But Mullings doesn't capitalise on the space the Gladiators defence gave her. And that was just too easy. Warren, it dribbles off the foot of Fernandez. Again, clock ticking down, late clock. Can they find Hodges? Finds some space. Doesn't get the first one to go, and doesn't get the second one to go, but she somehow gets the ball back. Body's on the floor.
I think she's earned that
And
5-second rest there on the
a
floor.
bit
She's
chaotic
battling
there,
in
yes. Foul called on Fernandez.
And that's what I like to see. Robin Lewis, nobody's ever too big to be cleaning the floor. And a player of her legendary status at this club, making sure there's no slip hazards out there.
Played for multiple clubs as well across the league. Been at Pride, here at Gladiators, Cardiff, Leicester.
Scotland stalwart right the way through as
Absolutely.
well. And to me, that's what makes great players. Players who are willing to do whatever it takes.
Hodges doesn't knock the second one down. Masovic with the rebound. And Mullings gathers the ball. Masovic probably had the chance first time to go up. Steal from Robin Lewis. She powers down the floor. But the pass is overcooked.
And I just feel Masovic needed to identify. She had the two of them on her there. She had Crisper at the back, she had Mullins at his side, and that's where you've got to find a teammate and kick it out, because someone's got to be open somewhere.
Yeah, I almost felt as if though the pass had to go to the player rather than ahead of the player there, just with the momentum. Round the screen, Georgia Gale. Pass, extra pass, Grace Graham in the corner. Doesn't go, who's got the rebound? It's bouncing about off the foot of Fernandez. She knew that was going to go against her there. She was lucky not to hurt herself.
3 pink jerseys, though, to that
Chasing that ball.
Gladiators.
Yep.
One, but then you could be arguing Gladiators making sure they keep the defensive end tight if the Hatters do come at them, but I just feel that intensity, that effort is out there for the Hatters. And I think it is there for the Gladiators, it's just not coming together the same. The pieces of the puzzle are not making the right picture at the moment.
Hatters on top. Can the Gladiators answer back? 4.5 minutes of this third quarter remaining, and there's the 3 points. Maura Fitzpatrick making a contribution again off the bench. Extra pass from the Gladiators there, but it's Georgia Gale straight into the offense. She had the Harrison darting round, overcooks the layup in the hands of Tierra Hodges, fighting for the ball. Thames comes away with it. She's off and running, pulls up 3-throw line, and she knocks that down automatic. Leads down to 9.
And that's something I've admired about Hodges with her time in this league, even before she got the Gladiators, is her absolute grit and determination.
Just puts her body on the line for her team. Ball ends up with Georgia Gale. Physicality ramping up. Gale extra pass into the corner. Crisper. Graham finding a pass. Wow, what a find! That's a great defensive stop from the Gladiators. And a timeout on the floor called by Vanessa Ellis of the Sheffield Hatters. A little bit of a momentum shift, but it's the Hatters still leading 50-41.
Nice to see Fitzpatrick knock down that 3. We saw it at Manchester last season, obviously injured for a good part of it, but I think she's been given on the defensive end, so it's nice to see her getting rewarded down at that offensive end. Like you said, Gladiators maybe have gone on a little bit of run there, getting the defensive stop off the back of a 3-pointer. But at the same time, I think Sheffield, you can see Coach Ellis called the timeout. She'll settle the team.
It's a very quick timeout with only a 5-point run. It's just good organisation, isn't it?
3.5 minutes left to play of this quarter. She'll get the players settled, remind them of what it was that they were doing that was doing well, and like you pointed out, how well they have been moving the ball. And a couple there just haven't fallen into the right hands at the right time like they have earlier on, but they are still sitting on their 16 assists. They are averaging sort of 20 a game at the moment. Again, statistics, they're quite skewed over the course of 2 games, but I think what we're seeing out here, it's easy to go out and perform really well when your team are winning by 30, but what are you going to do when your team's down, or what are you going to do in a tight situation?
And you've got someone like Tierra Hodges putting her team on her back, up to 12 points for the game, 7 rebounds. She's trying to help drag her team back into contention. It's team basketball from the Hatters. 10 points from Gale. Fernandez, 4 points, 3 assists, all off the bench. Nina Crisper on 8 points in 14 minutes, again off the bench.
And Gladiators are getting shots up. You know, they've put up 48 shots to Sheffield's 32, but the problem with Gladiators is it's a 35% scoring percentage across the floor.
Warren open for 3. That looks long. Who's back? Fitzpatrick again, battling for the rebound. Lewis into the heart, finds Warren. She puts up the 3 again. That bobbling around. Who's battling for it? Ogaduga unable to get up. Good defense by Georgia Gale. And as you keep saying for this whole game, it's Nina Crisper out, looking for the outbound pass. Cross-court pass. Look at this. Fernandez to the basket. Harrison checks back and tries to answer the 3. But look at that volleyball set into the basket. But it's 4 Hatters players battling for the rebound. Grace Graham, Robin Lewis put under pressure. 3rd, 4th chance now for the Hatters. Gale drives against Hodges. Checks back. They're looking to create some space. Crisper. Oh, Hodges hits the floor. And who's got the ball? Ogaduga has it. Hodges slow to get to her feet. Fitzpatrick drives to the basket. Hangs in the air. What a finish.
That's one for your highlight reel right there.
And there's Maura Fitzpatrick again having a day, getting that ball to the basket, creating space. And there's a Georgia Gale turnover. And Gladiators with a bit of momentum. And that's coming off the energy and the defensive impact from Maura Fitzpatrick. Gladiators to within 7.
And we do always say basketball is a game of runs. How much longer though can the Gladiators sustain this run? How long until the Sheffield Hatters come back at them as they have done all game, maintaining this lead throughout?
There was an 8-point deficit heading into the half. Fitzpatrick catch shoot. Doesn't go. That was a I've made a couple of shots, I'm putting this one up moment for her. The Hatters still in the ascendancy. Stubbs battling with Hannah Robb. Diving for the ball, Harrison back. Slides on the floor, referee's happy, late clock. Fernandez up, floats it. What a finish!
And that really is end-to-end basketball.
Are we allowed knee slides? Back in the primary school disco days. Lewis for 3 to answer, doesn't go. Okadua rebounds. The Gladiators need to settle. Can they get the ball moving? 90 seconds remaining of the third. A 9-point lead. That's a forced pass by Annie Warren.
Okadua needs to do better against the undersized Stubbs in that situation.
Fernandez mid-range, doesn't go. Rebound. Okadua powering down the floor. Lewis doesn't look to use her. Fitzpatrick sets her feet. That doesn't go for the Gladiators. Nobody there for the rebound. That's a good look though. Gandini to Harrison to Fernandez. Open. Finds Crisper with the mismatch. Doesn't get it to go, but gets her own rebound. The Austrian there looking unhappy at herself. Both teams looking out on their feet. Looking for this third quarter interval. Fitzpatrick, someone's looking to get something going. Referee's letting everything flow. And it's Gandini to Fernandez. I thought she was going to slow it down and they take it out with a slight differential in the shot clock and game clock. Can it be the Hatters who extend their lead? And that's a foul. You saw Fitzpatrick come across late. Doesn't get her feet set, puts her body on the line.
And I know you've talked about referees letting it flow, but I do feel like they need to take a grab of it again.
Especially when he gets almost as
it's getting
fragmented.
very frantic out there, and I think that's a situation where, well, if you're hitting me, fine, I'm going to hit you back. And
Yeah.
it'll keep escalating. It's just pull it back in, tighten it back up, move from there. Says me, school referee, school level.
Hey, most important part, referees at all levels, Rona. Baseline ball for the Hatters, 11 seconds on the third quarter clock. Nina Crisper gathers with ease. Stubbs puts up, what a finish. Turnover, Harrison, can she get it to go? And it doesn't go, it's the Hatters though, extending their lead as we enter the third quarter interval, 54-43. And we'll go to our third quarter advertisements.
My name is Tiara Hodges. I'm number 15 on Caledonia Gladiators women's team. And my message to younger female athletes will be just don't be afraid to lift weights, be strong, and just be intimidating. Don't be afraid to work hard and just take on the grind and try to get as strong and as powerful as you can.
Hi, I'm Robin, I'm number 4. I've met some of the most inspirational women in my life through the sport of basketball. It is a sport for everyone, especially women and girls.
Hi everyone, my name is Bryn Maskwich. I'm number 3 on the Caledonia Gladiators, and for Women's in Sport Week, I really want to own in on girls being confident, bold, and wanting to walk into a room and own it. Because we are powerful, we're wonderful, and we're beautiful.
Hi, I'm Alex from the women's team, and I would encourage all girls to get into sport for the friendships you make and connections along the way.
Hi, my name is Kenny McGee. I'm number 27 for the women's team. My message for women and girls in Sports Week is don't be afraid to give it a go. Be confident and get out of your comfort zone. Playing basketball has allowed me to have so many amazing opportunities, travel the world and meet loads of incredible people.
Hi, my name's Emma. I'm number 6 on the women's team, and basketball has taught me so many life skills. It's allowed me to balance my playing and my studying, but it's also lots and lots of fun. I've had some of my best memories with playing basketball, and I've made some of my best friends.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm number 9 from the women's team. I'm really lucky to be surrounded by so many amazing women every single day. Being on a team gives you that sense of community. It makes me feel supported and has helped build my confidence. And it's also super fun. Sport is for everyone, so please give it a go. I promise you, you'll enjoy it.
We're back, final 10 minutes of this game. 54, the Hatters lead to the Gladiators 43. And we look at some individual stats. We've got Megan Mullings 13, Thierry Hodges on 12. Thierry Hodges leading the rebound battle on 7. But it's the team element to this game from the Hatters. They're moving the ball better. They're defensively making it really tough for the Gladiators. And it's a big 10 minutes. Can the Gladiators bring it back, or will the Hatters continue to push and give Gladiators their first defeat of the season and them themselves go to 3-0?
And remembering that Gladiators are defending champions of this trophy.
Yep.
So there's
Demonge, Fitzpatrick the other side for 3, and that drops. A good first look. Demonge with the assist, and it's not often we get to 9 minutes or just over 9 minutes to go in a game where Demonge hits her first assist of the game. Stubbs, electric pace that Stubbs has. Harrison, high arcing 3, doesn't go, and it's in the hands of Robin Lewis. Gladiators now moving the ball that little bit quicker. Whoa, what a step in! Oh, it doesn't go for Fitzpatrick, the Irish international. The acceleration looked good, but wasn't able to finesse the finish. Gandini now for 3. That drops! And that's maybe the icer off that early Gladiators momentum, Rona.
And you can see it was Lewis had just stepped up to cover there, so then getting back out this close out in Gandini, but maybe just not as quick as you'd want to.
Lewis down for 3. It's raining 3s to start this final stanza.
And I did say in that first half, I was like, it will come for both teams, those 3s, and there they go.
We don't see Robin Lewis shoot the ball as often as we do. Hands on from Masovic to Crisper. She gets ahead to the basket, and one! Nina Crisper all the way to the basket. Takes the contact from Bred Masovic.
And Nina Crisper, I think, winning the battle of the blocks in there. Listed as a forward, is playing almost like a centre at times. You know, she is coming out, she's able to attack the basket with some really nice steals and pins from her in that low block as well. And the way she's attacking the boards, but also getting out and running the floor, she's really impressed me today.
Crisper the line to convert the 3-point play. She gets it to go. Hatters still 100% from the free-throw line. Hodges all the way to the basket. A play out the Hatters playbook there. And a quick start for both teams. Shauna Harris, both teams just putting their head down, charging to the basket. And there's Harrison for 2. Warren to Hodges, do they find Masovic? But there's about 3 players converge on her.
Masovic did a good job there in the seal. Stubbs, though, liked the way she came across, was aggressive and made sure Masovic wasn't getting anything easy. And it does look like maybe the refs are tightening back up on things out there on the floor.
Vanessa Ellis looking for the ball to be on the floor, but it'll go to the free throw line for 2.
Masovic had a quiet game tonight, but I think that's to do with the Hatters and the pressure.
From either it being Crisper or Lewis going at her, yeah.
And also that accumulation of it was Crisper and then Stubbs coming across, and often they are getting the steal.
Doesn't get the second one to go. Crisper gathers the board. 8 minutes to go in this ball game. A 10-point lead for the Hatters. Good battle inside, enjoying that battle from Fitzpatrick since she's come on forward. That looks like a travel, but referees let it go. Comes off the foot. Hodges gets it back to Demonge.
I feel like it's been a lot of the basketball off people's feet today.
Warren now for 3. And it goes! You had the good line of that one, Rona. Your hands were up early. Warren doesn't keep it alive. She falls through the chairs. And the subs will be in and Warren's okay.
Sometimes a player, you got to take a seat when you can get one.
Demonge coming into this quarter with no assists, up to 3 already. Just in this quarter alone. Fitzpatrick with her hands in the cookie jar, but doesn't get it to go on. Harrison puts it behind her back and it eventually finds Georgia Gale. A few more. Mullings enjoyed that battle as well between Hodges and her.
Interesting to see if they see that mismatch there with Harrison on Warren.
Does it drop? No, and she'll go to line for 2. Georgia Gale, the vet experience there, just doing what her team needs. Get to the free throw line, stops the clock, gets a foul on to Hodges. That's her first for the game. And Georgia Gale has the chance to get points 11 and 12. Misses the first shot of the free throw line for the game for the Hatters on the night. And misses them both, but look what happened. She gets her own rebound. Gladiators sleeping. She dances through Hodges, gets into Fitzpatrick. Lewis dancing past Masovic with ease. Tidy finish that. Demonge driving into traffic there, picks up the ball, looks for help, finds Fitzpatrick. That's a risky pass, but finds its way to the intended target. Mid-range short on that one. Doesn't really touch anything. Late clock now. 3's up, off the front rim. No one battling for that rebound. It goes out to Mullings. A 9-point lead for the Hatters.
Hatters always finding ways to steady their ship. Even if Gladiators get a couple of buckets, they're finding ways to get themselves to hoop, get downhill, draw some fouls. Good composure.
And Georgia Gale just does a good job in these times. Controls the game, the tempo, and look at that. Oh, what a help defense from Demonge. But as she blocks it, she gets out of bounds.
I was just about to say that far too easy there for the Hatters, but Demonge, maybe what was missing in that first half, that next line of Gladiators, defensive rotation coming across.
Looks like the referees are deciding on the shot clock. It wasn't a reset to 14.
Although it seems to have now gone back up to 24. It's gone back down to 2.3.
2.3 seconds on the clock. Everyone's happy with that. But Georgia Gale just does a good job under those frantic times just to control the game. Whether she goes alone, we just saw that. With a switch to the defense, just to the open player, and can they get it in? They do. Mullings under the basket. And look at that tidy play from the Hatters. Lead now 11 again. End-to-end stuff. Hannah Robb back on the floor. They find Demonge in the corner. Tough looking 3, doesn't go. Hatters so long on defense. And Hodges will be called for the foul. A hit in the head, and it will be a Hatters ball on the baseline. Just under 6 minutes to go of this game.
Both teams with their full set of starters out on the floor there, so very similar to how we started, or the same as we started the game. Let's look how they go over the next couple of minutes.
Gale gets the switch deep, bounces off Masovic, she hits the floor, and look what happens there. An easy find, easy finish under the basket for the Hatters, and probably the real story of this game. Gladiator again looking for help. Ball's picked up, no movement. Look at that easy steal potential. No, it ends up in Hodges' hands, but it's back with the Hatters. Wind out the sails a little there now for the Gladiators. Handy looking for a bit more intensity from the sideline. Can the Hatters ice this game here and there? Again, double team is Georgia Gale, but someone will be open. It's Gandini under the basket, but Mullings open three. And that doesn't go, but who's getting the rebound? It's the Hatters again on the board. And they're slowly building this lead back up. It's up to 15. Demongi drives, looks for the cutting Hannah Robb. That doesn't go. And I think Handy might be looking for a timeout soon, but they get the ball back. Warren puts the three up. And that doesn't go, but it bounces off, and it will belong to the Gladiators.
Rob struggling at the offensive end, but you could see that cut was there on that backdoor option for her to come through, so it was a nice find. Other days that will fall, and that's what you've got to do. We've got to keep playing. The game is not over. 15-point deficit. It's going to be a tough uphill battle, and Gladiators would really need to turn on and bring something they haven't brought all game so far. But I feel Hatters are confident out there. They know what they're doing.
Can the Gladiators get the ball in bounds? They do just. And that's a missed pass again from the Gladiators. Another turnover. And it's the Hatters looking to extend their lead. Georgia Gale round. Look at this open shooter once again for the Hatters. Rejects the shot, goes to the basket. A battle inside, but look at that again. Easy as it goes for the Hatters. And they have dominated that inside battle. 54 points in the paint in this game. Almost as many points as the Gladiators have had. And that's the real story. We wondered if the outside shooting of the Hatters would make a difference, but they've done a great job at getting inside. Whether it's been Gale, Mullings, Lewis, Gandini, Crisper, Fernandez have all made a massive difference in this game.
On the Gladiators end, there has been positives as well. Robin Lewis coming off the bench, bringing her 5.6 assists, 3 rebounds in just under 20 minutes of play. I think that's been really positive performance for her today.
Demongi gets the 2 from the key. Gale finds Lewis. Look at that, Crisper with the cut. And that is Benina Crisper's game today. Cutting from the wing, under the basket. And she's having a great game. Demongi all the way, under pressure from Lewis. It was as if both players were just waiting for the contact. Demongi hits the deck. She's slow to get to her feet.
We'll be going obviously for Gladiator of the game, but for me on the Sheffield end, I'd be going for Crisper.
She's been tremendous.
I also have really enjoyed the things that haven't maybe been on the stat sheet, and just, you know, Gladiators like to look to put the ball inside. They've been having a lot of success with putting the ball outside, and between her and Lewis, I think they've just really taken that option away from them. Masowicz out there has looked lost at times, and as if she's not been allowed to do what she would like to do out there, and that's what you've got to do with your opposition, take away what it is they want.
Demongi doesn't convert the second one. Nina Crisper continues to have a big impact. 13 points, 5 rebounds for her. The Gladiators have no real answer so far for Georgia Gale's creation. Aggressive play, and that'll be 2 shots at the line. And that's what a captain does, put her team on their back. Whether she's sharing the ball or taking it on her own. She has a way of doing it her way.
Georgia Gale, someone who often comes up in conversation when we'd see the GB squads come out for the 5v5 version. We obviously saw in 3x3 action. We've obviously seen former Linden Lions head coach Stella be appointed this week as the GB senior women's coach. I wonder if that's a name that we'll maybe see back in rotation.
Yeah, we've got the window approaching in the next couple of weeks for the women. It'll be interesting to see who's on the long list for training camp for that and who turns up and who'll be in the 12. expect to see players. Hannah Robb's normally thereabout. Shauna Harrison and one for the Gladiators. Shauna Harrison's normally in the conversation. She went to Eurobasket. And yeah, it was good to see Georgia Gale back in the 3x3 team as well.
And that was a really nice take there by Domaine. You're just watching, you'd seen it a little bit earlier for the Gladiators end.
Monge 7 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. When we look at season averages, Hatters done a great job in keeping players like Warren and Hodges quieter than normal. The Gladiators offense coming from someone like a Maura Fitzpatrick. She came into this game really only 3.5 points. She's up to 12. Gale now handling a lot more of the ball. The ball not maybe moving as round as much for the Hatters, but they do such a good job at finding an open player. Kicked out of bounds by the Gladiators. It's a Hatters baseline ball. 2 minutes 19 on the clock. The Hatters lead is 15. Hatters looking to put a statement victory on the table. We saw Essex victory over Oaklands yesterday, and Hatters will like to send another message round the league. Lewis now for a 3. We've not seen that. Beats the buzzer but doesn't go. Crisper with Hodges gets through the gap, tries to put the ball up. I mean, you can claim a pass, but it's a great rebound by Fitzpatrick, and she continues to have a day. But look at that, Crisper out on the full. Almost like the tight end. If you're into your NFL on a Sunday.
I was watching that before I came out, last London games today.
Oh, yes. Gale drives in, corner pass, extra pass, Gandini for 3. You just expect that to go, but it's kept in play by Harrison. Easily with 90 seconds to go, could let that ball go. But you just see the tenacity of this Hatters team. Gladiators now using some clock up, looking to get a shot. Look at that lovely find from the Monge to Hodges. And there maybe hasn't been a look at this though, out in the full. Crisper takes it, guarded by Harrison. Lewis under the basket, fouled. And that has been the game. Hatters off a Gladiator score, off and running through their bigs. Whether it's Lewis or Crisper, or both in this case. Straight down the floor, down the other end. And Antoinette Lewis will go to the 3-throw line to see if she can get points. 17 and 18. A tremendous second half for her. Bobbles round, doesn't go. Our game leading scorer.
Played in Croatia last season, racked up some more experience, and I'm liking the physicality and the athleticism she's shown us out there today.
Yeah, coming back from being at Newcastle the season before last. Into the last minute of the game, almost there. Demonge looking, gets the ball out to Hannah Robb, puts up the 3, doesn't go for Hannah Robb, and look at that, Gandini out in the run. Fitzpatrick getting another rebound. Quick outlet to Demonge. And it looks like the game well and truly over now as we count down the final seconds of the game. The Gladiators trailing down by 12, but never really in it after the first quarter. Demonge throws the ball up, foul called on, it looks like Georgia Gale. And it will be Demonge at the line for 2. And if we look at this game, Rona, it's the inside where this game's been won. The extra passing, the ball moving from the Hatters has really taken it across the line for them.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you. It's the passing that I've really enjoyed from the Hatters, and the way they've continued with that right through until the end of the game. Still getting the ball down the floor, still looking for that open player to go out and run. And that's how you're going to beat. The Gladiators pride themselves on that intensity on the full court defense, but you're not going to get to set your full court defense if the ball's beating you down
Already
the floor.
down the court, yeah. Demonge knocks down them both. Timeout called by Vanessa Ellis. 31.5 seconds on the clock. 10-point game here. I mean, stranger things have happened.
It's not going to.
But it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
By that you mean Gladiators
miraculously stealing the ball.
yes, on
Yes.
multiple occasions. I the Scot in me, isn't it? It's the pessimist. But I think Hatters know what they're doing.
Yep.
Every time Gladiators have taken a run at them, we've seen Hatters, they've had the lead as high as 17, and every time the Gladiators chip into it, they've found a way to respond. Gladiators obviously took that second quarter by 3, but in that third quarter, Sheffield managed to respond and take that straight back by winning it 3 themselves and winning the fourth quarter as well. I think that opening quarter for the Gladiators will be something they go back and they look at, and they'll be like, okay, what should we have done differently? What did we not do that we can change? And also, what did go well that maybe they went away from?
Hatters back on the floor. Smiles on the face of Nina Crisper and Emma Gandini. And they're going to take the ball in the half court. Shot clock at 14. As they look to build some big momentum heading into the latter stages of this competition and as the regular season will kick off in the SLBW.
And next time we see the Gladiators back on home court, who's that against, Grant?
Tell me.
Hatters.
Hey.
As the Gladiators are about to go on the run of being away from home for a while, obviously Hatters will be back home next week to the Wildcats who we saw here last week.
Bat on the floor. Foul called on Hannah Robb. And as foul trouble, that'll be Georgia Gale to the 3-throw line. And Gale has been to the 3-throw line a number of times today. She'll look to get points, 13 and 14. As she is 8 from 10 from the 3-throw line. Her physicality just too much on this occasion for Hannah Robb. She knocks down the first. .56 points in the paint for the Hatters. .14 from Damongi all the way to the basket again, knocks the ball loose. It's in Gandini's hands. And we could have the final play of the game as the Hatters take a convincing victory on the road. Harrison with the push off. The Gladiators will get one more shot at the game. Offensive foul called. Harrison up to 3 fouls. But a convincing road victory for the Hatters in the Betty Cardona Cup.
And I just think, what a league have we got this year?
It's going to be
Scores
exciting
across the board that maybe last season you wouldn't have expected to see, but Hatters taking the win.
Hannah Robb, shot goes up, and that's kind of the story of Hannah Robb's game tonight. Shot doesn't go. And there we have it, the end of the game. The Sheffield Hatters winning the road 79-67. The Hatters come up to PlaySport, take the win, led by, the whole team was tremendous, the impact they made. Antoinette Lewis in 17, Mullings on 15. Gale finishing the game with 14.6 rebounds. Terry Hodges lead scoring for the Gladiators with 16 points. And we'll be joining Rona courtside shortly, but it's the Hatters who leave here with the victory. Their points in the paint, 56-30. Second chance points finishing a tie. The bench points for the Gladiators, though, 25 points off the bench. A lot of them came from Maura Fitzpatrick. But it's from the three-point line where the Gladiators, only 20%, they came into this game. Really not scoring a great deal, but they were leading the 2 points. First in the league, 60% for the Hatters, only 42 for the Gladiators. The Hatters did a good job keeping Warren way below her season averages, even Hodges as well, not getting the looks they normally get. Hannah Robb, 22 minutes, no points. She'll have a night to forget. That was the bench impact. Maura Fitzpatrick with a plus minus of 6. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals. That's one positive for the Gladiators heading into their next game when they do take on the Newcastle Eagles, who they went down to in the pre-season. You see Coach Handy at the half court there speaking to her team after that big defeat, they'll have a lot of work to do, but as we said, the Hatters coming in here, causing, not necessarily an upset, but taking the road victory. Crisper 13 points off the bench. The plus minus of though Megan Mullins, 19. Antoinette Lewis, 21 points, a high index for her on 21 as well. Gandini laying those 2 threes early in the fourth quarter, sorry. And we're just waiting now for one of the Gladiators to join Rona courtside. A tremendous game for the Hatters, the deserved victors here at Play Sport. And it looks like Robin Lewis will join Rona courtside, and we'll head there now.
A solid performance from you today, Robin, but ultimately a team loss. How does it feel?
It's never good. Doesn't matter how well you play individually. If the team don't get it done, it hurts. It hurts that we didn't defend at home. Yeah, we wish we played better.
Most definitely. And it was a very fast-paced game. Do you think that's something you're going to be looking at in practice this week?
Yeah, we wanted to play up tempo. We knew that it would be hard to get the shots we wanted in the half court. But we didn't limit their scoring enough to give us opportunities at the other end to run on them. We want to play up tempo. That's how we want to play this year. But yeah, back to the drawing board, there's lots we need to look at.
And on that, I will let you get back to your team, and I will hand you back over to Grant to wrap us up for today.
A big road victory for the Hatters, a big night in British basketball. The Gladiators unable to defend home court. The Hatters take the win by 12. From all of us here at Play Sport, thank you for joining us, and we'll be back next time.
My name is Tiara Hodges. I'm number 15 on Caledonia Gladiators women's team. And my message to younger female athletes would be just don't be afraid to lift weights, be strong, and just be intimidating. Don't be afraid to work hard and just take on the grind and try to get as strong and as powerful as you can.
Hi, I'm Robin, I'm number 4. I've met some of the most inspirational women in my life through the sport of basketball. It is a sport for everyone, especially women and girls.
Hi everyone, my name is Bryn Maskwich. I'm number 3 on the Caledonia Gladiators, and for Women's in Sport Week, I really want to own in on girls being confident, bold, and wanting to walk into a room and own it. Because we are powerful, we're wonderful, and we're beautiful.
Hi, I'm Alex from the women's team, and I would encourage all girls to get into sport for the friendships you make and connections along the way.
Hi, my name is Kelly McGee. I'm number 27 for the women's team. My message for women and girls in sports week is don't be afraid to give it a go, be confident and get out of your comfort zone. Playing basketball has allowed me to have so many amazing opportunities, travel the world and meet loads of incredible people.
Hi, my name's Emma. I'm number 6 on the women's team, and basketball has taught me so many life skills. It's allowed me to balance my playing and my studying, but it's also lots and lots of fun. I've had some of my best memories with playing basketball, and I've made some of my best friends.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm number 9 from the women's team. I'm really lucky to be surrounded by so many amazing women every single day. Being on a team gives you that sense of community. It makes me feel supported and has helped build my confidence. And it's also super fun. Sport is for everyone, so please give it a go. I promise you.